Hello and welcome to Pathological. We're your hosts. I'm Cassidy Schertz,
And I'm Julianne Boyd.
and today we are talking about Luigi Mangione, Nick Reiner, and Lindsay Clancy. So let's get into it. How was your week?
It was good. What did we do? Oh, you know what? Actually, one of my kids got stitches for the first time.
Oh yeah,
So
that
it was
gnarly.
like good and then kind of gnarly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
The
fun.
picture was very
I
gnarly.
know, it just like tore her foot open. She ran into a Barbie treehouse. This is so random. My dad and my brother built a Barbie treehouse out of limbs that fell from our tree
It
during a
looks so
blizzard
cool.
in
It's so
Colorado.
cool. Yeah.
It is so cool. And it was like 20 years ago. My parents are super do-it-yourself type people. So yeah, it's the coolest thing ever. And it's like one of a kind. It's not like you can go out and buy a Barbie treehouse like this.
Yeah.
Anyways, it ripped open my child's foot this week. So it has lost a few cool points in my book. And it owes me some money for the stitches. But it was, an eventful week.
Yeah.
What about you? What happened with you guys?
I don't even know. I'm trying to think
I
about
feel
what we
like
did.
we didn't see each other as much as normal this week.
No,
We
I
are
was
getting ready for school to start. So
Yes. Yeah. We
yeah.
are getting ready to go on a trip to St. George. Should I say that and dox myself? I don't
It's
know if I
fine.
should say that. Don't come find me in
Yeah.
St. George. But we're
St. George, Colorado.
Yeah, totally.
Obviously.
Not Utah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna go on a family reunion for like 5 days next week. So we're
Do you know that fur is a very Utah way of saying the word for?
Oh,
It's okay.
I don't
It's
know.
okay, man.
I think I'm slowly adopting the Utah accent.
Probably. Oh no. If you say crick or summer cells, I'm going to
Cells,
literally
yeah.
disown you.
No, the cells.
Yeah. Summer
The
cells.
Nels cells.
Gotta go get my nails done.
I don't think I say that, but I'm gonna.
And that was a little too Valley Girl. I don't know.
I think I have a Valley Girl accent, but I don't really know why.
There's no logic as to why you would.
I'm not sure where it came from, but I have a very
Western United States, like it kind of all. There's a lot of Californians taking over Utah, so they're doing this to us.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
I don't know why I say us. I've literally only lived here for 3 months.
No, you lived here before.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Did you watch anything or read anything?
Okay, I have been watching the Charles Manson case. Plug. We're going to do an
Yes.
episode, and I am going to be in charge of that. So I'm kind of doing
This
my
is
homework.
Homework if you want to tune into our next episode.
Yes.
It's called Conversations with a Killer. The
Do you have
Charles
that written
Manson.
down?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Well, I
impressed
think
with you.
they did the Conversations with a Killer with Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy,
too.
that's true.
So
Is this only the second serial killer
I'm
that they've
pretty
done the tapes
sure.
with? Yeah,
I'll look it up.
that's okay. Anyways, yes, I started watching that, and I learned some really cool things that I was either hazy on or just had never learned. Other than that, okay, I've got to admit I quit the book that we've been talking about because Libby, it's not my fault. It's
You
Libby's
DNF'd
fault.
it.
I did. That sounds like I kind of hate that acronym, but yeah, I DNF'd it. F that book. No, I really think Patrick Radden Keefe is a great author. It's just it got returned by Libby, and my will to
Classic.
get it on hold again is just kind of plummeting.
Yeah.
You know how you go through these like ebbs and flows of like I really like reading nonfiction, and then I kind of need to like come up for air and like let me read something really mindless and just like
Oh, I'm like not really a nonfiction reader. I don't read that much nonfiction. I'm a lot more like
yeah.
interested in fiction.
I'm
So I
the
don't even have the
opposite.
willpower to read anything.
Well, I don't think mine is better or worse, whatever. But I have lots of friends that only read fiction, and for me, I kind of like want to get into their minds and be like, how can you imagine these like very elaborate universes in your
Oh.
brain. I feel like I have aphantasia. I don't, but like where you can't visualize things in your head. If it doesn't exist in our real world, I'm like,
You're not a
I don't know what a freaking
fantasy.
human fairy looks like, or like a fae looks like, you know? And so then I'm just like kind of
That's why
picturing
you have
Henry
to
Cavill.
look up the
with
AI
wings.
generated versions.
That's true. Anyways, I feel like universes that are created are hard for me.
No, I have a hard time because the
So
beginning
fantasy
of
is not-
every fantasy book, I'm like having to restart 5 times because I'm like, what the heck are we talking
And
about?
like their world building, and like I'm
Yeah, the
not
world
keeping
building
up
is
with them.
hard.
So let's restart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, and that is not at all a knock against people that love fantasy. I think it's
I read a lot
so
of it, but I
wonderful.
have to do it in spurts where
Yeah.
I read other things in between.
Have you ever read any of Brandon Sanderson's books? Oh my gosh.
No.
I got like 1 full hour into reading Mistborn and I was like, I have not understood a single thing about this universe. Like, I'm just going to be completely lost. And my brother was like, you just got to get like 10 hours into it. And I was like, you've grossly underestimated my attention span.
Yeah.
Overestimated. You grossly overestimated my attention span for something that's not like
Yeah.
really drawing me in.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like a show where it's like you just have to get through like the first 2 seasons and then it's
That's how
good.
Parks
I'm
and
like,
Rec was for me. But Jordan told me like, just don't even watch the first season because I kept not being able to get through like the first 3 episodes. And everybody's like, this show's so great. And I was like, what are we watching the same show? This show kind of sucks. And he was like, just skip the first season. And he's absolutely right. To this day, that's like a repeat show for us, but we do not ever watch the first season.
I think that's kind of how it is with a lot of shows for me too. It's like I already know all. It's like they're introducing you to everything. Like I already know all this, so I don't need it.
Yeah.
So I can just get right into
The
the
nitty-gritty.
storyline again.
Yeah. What about you? Reading, watching?
So I also started Conversations with the Killer. Oh, I looked just a note. There's also the Conversations with the Killer for The Son of Sam.
Oh, yeah. Okay, we'll cover that one eventually
Yeah,
too then.
so there's Ted Bundy, The Son of Sam, and
Son
Charles
of Sam,
Manson.
I feel like happened in the Bronx, right? No. Maybe that's somebody completely different.
I have no idea.
Scream at me in the comments. I'm okay with that.
I have no idea. But yeah, the Charles Manson tapes, it came out, I'm saying 4 days ago now at this point. So
Okay.
they're new. And yeah, like we said, we're going to cover Charles Manson.
And I feel like that documentary is well done.
Yeah.
It seems very well researched. And they're interviewing the literal women that were
Source.
part of
Yeah.
the Manson family.
Yes.
That's so cool.
I know. Yeah. So I started that. And then I've been reading Emma M. Lyon. Have you heard of those? Oh,
No.
they're like really short books that are in, I think there's a series of, let me look up how many there are. There's like 17.
A witty 20-year-old fictional protagonist of the Unselected Journals of
The
Emma M.
Unselected
Lyon.
Journals of Emma M. Lyon. Yeah.
Okay.
They're really quick reads that I'm trying to like boost my. We talked about before how I'm like always looking at my stats on Goodreads.
I know.
I have not been reading as much as I want to, so I'm
Your stats are
boosting
dipping.
my stats. There's like a 3-hour listen for like the first couple of books. They're super short.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like journal entries of.
Is
Yeah.
it like witty or
Yeah.
is it funny? Is
Yeah,
it
it's funny.
genre? Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll read that too.
Yeah, they're really easy to get through and like
A 3-hour listen? That's like a podcast
I know.
episode for
No,
me.
I know. And it's a good contrast to then going to watch Charles Manson tapes after. So I'm like
That's true.
needed
That's
something
like
to soften the yeah.
And then like just go back down into the deep, dark, scary place.
I know, and I feel like I've been researching so much like dark stuff since
Me
we
too.
started this.
Well,
so
we just finished Hitler, and I was like,
yeah, that was
like
rough.
Holocaust, eugenics, and then I was like, but then I didn't consume anything like lighthearted and
Yeah,
happy this
yeah.
week, and then it was like immediate like back into the Charles Manson, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sad.
Yeah, you need something lighthearted.
I know people give me recommendations. Friends is not enough inoculation against the sadness this week. So, what do I need to be watching?
I don't know. Yeah, give us some recommendations in the comments.
Yeah,
Okay, should we get into some
Yeah.
of the headlines of the week?
let's
so
jump into it.
There were so many headlines this week that I was having a hard time deciding what the
Is it
big
like
ones.
trial season? Like, is there like, this is such a dumb question, but just like pilot season for Hollywood? Is there like a trial season?
I don't know.
Very dumb question. That's okay.
There was so much news this week.
It's suspiciously, they're all happening this week or this summer. I mean, we had the Tyler Robinson trial, and then we have, you're going to talk about these, Alex Murdaugh.
Yeah. The first thing, I'm just going to do rapid fire 3 headlines, and then we're going to get into some of the other ones that we'll spend a little more time with. So the first one is that Chris Watts is getting married behind bars.
Barf.
What are we doing?
He's a literal child murderer and family annihilator, and we have such airtight evidence. Yeah, that's disgusting.
Heck? No, yeah, he's marrying a woman named Lizzie Lee Henderson. Lizzie, like, girl.
Although this is not the first time this has happened.
Yeah, this is such
Ted
a common
Bundy got married while behind bars.
in these true crime stories of women who are just
girl,
infatuated.
you're a trope.
Yeah, no, it's weird. I don't understand the psychology behind it.
Me neither.
It's like, this man killed his pregnant wife and his little children, and you're like, yeah, that's my man.
Yeah.
What?
Girl,
Lizzie.
I don't know what to tell her. Calm down.
Yeah.
Go find someone that's not behind bars.
I don't understand it.
Is it for, I don't know. The conjugal visits is like going to be the nature of their relationship. So like letter writing and conjugal visits. So it's like literally just sex and letter writing.
I have no
Maybe
idea.
that's like over romanticized in their minds.
Yeah, that's what it is.
know.
They're just romanticizing these murderers,
Yeah.
and I don't understand it. Like, it was Ted Bundy, like all that. I don't know,
So
all
weird.
these different examples. Well, that's kind of a teaser for another story that we're talking about today.
Ooh, who are we talking about?
Luigi Mangione.
Mangione. He's weirdly handsome. I mean, it's annoying. Yes, it's annoying when these people are attractive. Like, the audacity. Although, you know what? There are so many attractive men that my friends have like dated through college or even married, and it's like a lot of them are not great.
Yeah.
Like, don't judge a book by its cover. I almost said the completely opposite. Don't judge a book by its cover, because a lot of times beauty on the outside does not mean that they are a good human being on the inside.
I know, but sometimes when they're really creepy looking, that is a sign that they're creepy.
True. Yep.
Brian Koberger.
Oh, yeah. Although there's more and more evidence that it like had to have been maybe 2 people minimum.
Oh.
Anyways, we'll talk about that more later. We're going to do a deep dive on him. There's a new book that came out about Brian Koberger.
Okay.
Like an FBI agent that was a part of the group of agents that
Interesting. Okay, so he's definitely on our radar. We'll
Yes, but you're right, creepy. And just to like double down, I do not think he's attractive.
I know. I saw the one comment of the guy that was like, sure.
It was my friend, like from growing up.
Funny.
And he was like,
I was like, I thought this was a stranger.
I got so many texts from my friends that were like, my favorite part of that episode is when you clearly, obviously don't think Brian Kober is attractive. And I'm like, I don't. Anyways.
The next quick headline we're going to talk about is, we mentioned Alex Murdaugh. His retrial is moving out of his home county of Colleton County.
Okay.
Or, I don't know if I said that right. Colleton County in South Carolina. Just because he's so connected in the town and the county that he lives in.
Jury couldn't really give him a fair trial, maybe.
Yeah, so he was granted a retrial.
Okay. I do think from an objective standpoint, that's a good idea, because there were lots of questions about whether or not the jury could be objective instead
like
of having
unbiased.
Unbiased
Totally.
and instead of having their...
I always am like, with a case like this, like almost everyone that's, I mean, maybe not necessarily everyone, maybe just us because we're interested in true crime would know about this, but I feel like this is such a national case that it's going to be hard to find a jury anywhere.
Unbiased.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think people that aren't into true crime, like, that's just not a part of the news they go
That's
to. So
true.
yeah, you can find people.
That's true.
But
So when that retrial happens, that's something we'll report on.
yeah.
And then just the last quick headline. This is something that's proximal to us. This is really sad. A teen arrested in Saratoga Springs, double homicide of his mother and 8-year-old brother.
Oh my gosh.
Which is really sad.
That is sad. And we don't know a whole lot of details yet, right?
Don't know a lot of
I
details.
know
I
the
don't even know the
mother
name.
and the son had different last names, the two that were killed. So I
Yes,
just wondered if it
Jessica.
was
So
like,
the mother is 44-year-old Jessica Lyman, and the 8-year-old son Eli Painter. Okay, so we can get into. I have 3 headlines for us today.
okay, so we
To
hit the
really,
3 ones that you're
so
just
there's 3. Those were just quick,
rapid
fire. There were so many, like I said, to choose from. So
Yeah.
just mentioning those because those were in the news this week. Okay, the first case that we're going to dive into is Luigi Mangione has pleaded guilty in federal court to charges in the killing of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. In a stunning turn, Mangione pleaded guilty in Manhattan federal court to a pair of stalking charges and admitted that he targeted and killed United Healthcare CEO. Mangione's guilty plea just 3 weeks before jury selection in his state murder trial appeared to be part of a larger defense strategy to swiftly resolve both cases, minimize his legal consequences, and perhaps give him a chance to live some of his life outside a prison cell.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How? I don't, I guess I don't know enough about the legal system quite yet to know how
I
would that
don't
give
know.
him time outside. He murdered this man. He's
I'm not sure.
pleading guilty.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't, I don't know.
Yeah, they said neither Mangione nor his lawyers said why he pleaded guilty now, but they've given some clues. Immediately after his plea, Mangione's lawyers filed paperwork seeking to have the state case thrown out on double jeopardy grounds. So that's something we've talked about offline.
Okay.
Is the
Once they've been acquitted of
legal-
something,
yeah.
you can't try them for the same exact crime a second time, right?
I
That's
think
double
so, yeah.
jeopardy?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you read that again? Sorry.
Yeah.
What-
Immediately after his plea, Mangione's lawyers filed paperwork seeking to have the state case thrown out on double jeopardy grounds.
Okay.
So federal and state.
Federal versus state case?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. His trial is scheduled to begin next month, but could be pushed back or canceled altogether depending on what the judge decides.
Okay.
Yeah. So if it succeeds, Mangione's defense team could concentrate on trying to convince the judge in his federal case to spare him from a life sentence that prosecutors say they intend to seek when he's sentenced on December 18th.
Okay. And is it New York City court or where's the court?
Yes, it's Manhattan, I'm pretty sure. Let's double check that.
Okay.
I think so.
Um,
Did I say that?
because is the death penalty not a thing there? I think it's not. That's a blue state. It's typically not.
Probably.
In
Yeah,
blue states.
Manhattan federal court.
Okay.
Yeah. So he did make a statement that I'm just going to read his exact words. He said, "I shot Mr. Thompson in Manhattan. I knew what I was doing was illegal. After years of enduring severe pain from a broken back, I learned United Healthcare would be holding an investor conference in New York City. I then researched the event online. I observed the annual conference of America's largest healthcare organization with the stated mission to make the healthcare system better for everyone."
Okay. So he was annoyed that the supposed purpose of United Healthcare was to make healthcare better for everyone, but he felt
Yeah.
like he'd been like screwed over by the system.
Yeah, so he
Okay.
wanted to be like a
Vigilante?
a vigilante. Yeah, that was exactly the word. I was trying to think. I'm like
Yeah.
Robin Hood almost, but that's not
Yeah.
right. Not stealing.
But take justice into his own hands. Because,
Yes.
And it really didn't seem like it was, because I feel like vigilantes and like Robin Hood, they're also trying to do it for the greater good. Doesn't really feel like that was what he was saying. He's
Yeah.
just doing it for him.
Yeah, I mean, he was saying he suffered his back injury,
Yeah.
and
I almost would have felt better about it if he was doing it because he'd seen his grandma or
I
his
know.
mom or somebody battle cancer and they had just got, some story like that. So this one I feel a little less like, no, this was just a very selfish act to get back at a system that you feel like screwed you over.
yeah,
I don't know.
and also, did this really move the needle in any way?
Yeah, it
Like-
just took this man from his family and the company, and then they just replace him with another one. This is like the heartlessness of business and capitalism. Like,
Yeah.
if a CEO dies, you just find another CEO and put them in place. They're pretty replaceable.
I know, and it feels like all of the attention on this case has not necessarily made any difference.
No. No.
healthcare.
There's been no like social justice campaigns like
That's what I have a hard time with. It's almost like the Unabomber kind of
oh yeah,
situation.
fruitless.
Yeah, it's like what
Completely.
Yeah.
I mean, all crime is like senseless, but it really didn't move the needle at all, like you said. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that sucks.
I know.
I wonder if he's like really disappointed because he was hoping to make some huge wave that would then, send shockwaves through the medical insurance world in the United States, and then maybe it would cause like federal changes to bring about like social medicine or something like
I know.
that.
I have such a hard time understanding the thought process there because it almost never works out the way like when people
Yeah.
are like,
On a mission.
assassinating people, like political people, or like
Well,
I don't know.
if they assassinate political people, sometimes when you assassinate someone, it turns them into a martyr, which like
Yeah.
really galvanizes
I
their
think that
side.
seems to happen more often than not, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. A lot of
Yeah.
times it's like people just end up feeling bad for the person and the family of the
Yeah,
person that you murdered more than
because this wasn't a
the-
person in a political position that has any power to really change the
No.
system.
yeah, I mean,
He's a CEO of one insurance company in the United States, of which there are many of those types of companies. So by killing the CEO, yeah, like what did he hope to accomplish?
I have no idea.
Yeah. We know the motive, but the motive feels so empty.
I know.
It feels
yeah.
like there must be something
Like
deeper
that-
to it,
the
and maybe
statement
he's
that
just not that
he-
deep.
Yeah, the statement that he made, I was like, huh, that was not very, that wasn't like pulling on my heartstrings. I'm
Me
like
neither.
not feeling bad for your back pain.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not very layered.
This was like such a pointless,
I know. Senseless murder of
murder.
someone. It's really tragic.
yeah.
Also, why does he look like he would be a character on Jersey Shore?
I know. That's another thing. Yeah, I was about to say that's a big part of the public conversation around this case is
His
people's fascination
looks.
with his looks. Yeah, he's like a annoyingly good-looking,
also,
attractive
how old
man.
is he? He's young. Maybe
He's 28. Yeah.
He's young.
yeah.
He has so much of his life ahead of him.
Oh my
what
gosh.
a ding dong.
Yeah. Another weird thing about this case is his lawyers are still fundraising to. They have not. It's not a GoFundMe. I didn't write down the actual like fundraising service
Platform.
that the platform that they're using, but they're still after this guilty plea raising funds to pay for his legal fees.
To pay themselves.
Yeah, like what?
Because he can't.
And people are
so-
still donating to him.
Because he can't pay them, then why are they still
I don't know.
being his
And I
defense
think
attorneys?
that he has so much public attention, and like I really think it's like women who are interested in him that are gonna keep funding him.
Murderer groupies. Yeah, that's like
that's
a
like what it
pathology
is,
that's
the
just so
groupies.
weird.
I
Yeah.
know, yeah, that was like a perfect
It's like-
transition to
Yeah,
talk about this.
it's like they're the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or whatever, people that had a ton of groupies, but those people weren't killing people. Like,
I
why is
know.
there this same pathology
I don't know,
of
it like
attraction to these people?
gives them like a celebrity status
Yeah.
despite being violent murderers.
Which some murderers, not necessarily serial murderers, but just murderers, do finally cop to that and say, like, yeah, like I wanted attention. It's like, oh
Kind of-
no, that's how you chose
Yeah.
to make your mark on the world. And then unfortunately, we acquiesced, like we provided the fame for you.
Mhm.
Sometimes when we're talking about cases, I'm like, we're doing it too.
I know. That's
But
what's hard about
I know it's a
doing
weird mix.
this kind of podcast.
Because it is very interesting. You want to like analyze it and get into the nitty gritty of it, but you also don't want to feed into that maniac's ego of
Mhm.
being talked about all the time.
I know.
And
I kind of
the balance is
wonder.
hard to strike.
I would like to see this go to trial so we can kind of observe more of his behavior
Mm-hmm.
because I do wonder if that's just kind of what the case is here, just
Mhm.
wanting the attention
Yeah.
to be on him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then I want to know more about his childhood. Like, why is he like this? You know?
Yeah.
Like the Patrick and Lindsay observing their behavior on the stand, the Clancy case right now, which I think we're going to talk about.
we are going to talk
But
about.
yeah, it's the same thing. Of like observing their behavior is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate being able to do that. So
Yes.
you're right. When Luigi Mangione goes to official trial, because it's just preliminary right
Mhm.
now,
They did say they could maybe get it thrown out altogether, though.
that would be bizarre on Double Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have
I don't know.
to see.
Yeah, we'll have to see. And when there's updates on that again, we'll continue talking about this.
Okay.
But I guess speaking of how celebrity status affects a murder trial, we're also going to be talking about Nick Reiner.
Great segue.
Thank you.
Nick Reiner murdered his parents.
Yeah, Nick Reiner faces charges for parents' murder and blocked from 1.5 million trust fund due to Slayer statute.
Good. Okay. I bet you, well, I don't know. I don't have a trust fund and no one in my world does, but I bet you that is like a very normal statute to put in.
I know.
But that mother effer, thank goodness that he is not going to benefit off of the murder, the slaughter of his two parents.
I know. Yeah, and it was violent too.
I
They were
know.
stabbed to death.
Do we know if there was abuse or is there any rhyme or reason? Not that it justifies it, but it helps bring some context.
I don't know for sure.
Okay. Rob Reiner, just to remind people, and Jordan can throw up a picture hopefully. He was just, we talked about this. He's one of those actors that was in a ton of things, but I never really knew his name.
Yeah, when I heard the name, I was not super familiar. I was trying to picture, I'm like, who is this
I
again?
know. And then it was when he passed away and those
Yes.
headlines came out
I
that I was
saw.
like, yeah, I know who this is.
Yeah, he's in so many things.
He was in, let's see, he was in Wolf of Wall Street, which is the more recent movie I've seen him in. I didn't even finish that movie.
Yeah, but Nick Reiner has been formally indicted for the murders of his parents, Rob and Michelle Reiner, with a new lying in wait allegation added to the charges.
Geez. So, like, proving that he had malice of forethought?
Yeah,
Is that what
it's
that
more
is?
deliberate than just a spontaneous act.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can you remind us, because I forget, how did he kill them?
they were stabbed to
Mm,
death.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Nick has not pleaded guilty. His current defense team hasn't publicly announced that they're formally pursuing an insanity defense, but we do know that he really struggled with mental health and
Okay.
substance abuse. I don't know if you saw any of this information that came out when
Not really. Just headlines.
so he was actually in a mental health conservatorship between 2020 and 2021, like Britney Spears
Oh my gosh.
conservatorship.
Was he trying to get back at them for that?
I don't know.
Oh gosh.
So from what I saw multiple reports about his mental health, and so he was diagnosed with schizophrenia.
Oh.
So that is, I'm sure,
Yeah. Schizophrenia.
massively
I
affecting
feel
his.
so bad for people that become schizophrenic because it is just such a like fracture in your personality and you're
Mhm.
split, right? Like
Mhm.
you become a different person. And
Yeah, schizophrenia is something. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about a lot.
Yeah.
Because that is
it's
one
fairly
of the
common for like a lot of the atrocious murders that make the headlines because it is
Yes.
someone that just snaps and acts
Mhm.
completely different. I've even wondered if that could be a possibility for Lindsay Clancy. I don't know. We
Yeah.
don't know right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the
Was he-
schizophrenia
You said he's
and
officially diagnosed with
Um,
schizophrenia?
I saw several reports. I don't want to definitively say that he has schizophrenia.
Should we look it up?
Yeah, I saw like several articles about it, but I don't know if he like ever publicly has said that he's schizophrenic or the family has said it officially.
Okay.
That and then coupled with substance abuse, he really struggled with addiction. So
And
that's
those
just
two-
a bad
Yeah,
combination.
just exacerbate the other one.
Yeah, yeah. And then I don't know if you know like the story of what happened. So
I'm blanking on it. Yeah.
Rob, Michelle, and Nick, from what I've gathered, all attended Conan O'Brien's holiday party on
Okay.
December 13th, 2025. And this was the night before he killed his parents.
hmm
And a lot of witnesses there say that he was acting strangely and seemed out of place. And there was reportedly a brief but loud argument between Nick and his father, Rob.
Okay.
And then the next afternoon, December 14th, Rob and Michelle were found dead inside their Brentwood home, stabbed to death.
And stabbings are always very, they have, many cases have said that stabbings are a very personal, like passionate form of killing
Mhm.
because it takes a lot of effort
I know.
and you're right up close to
Looking them
them.
right in the eyes while you're doing
Yes.
it.
And so it's typically rage, and it's not typically like from someone you don't know. It's typically like from family members or, it's really sad.
Yeah.
Okay, and Rob was 78 and Michelle was 70 when they were murdered by their son, and he was 32. And this article that I just pulled up says, yes, he was diagnosed
Officially,
with
okay.
schizophrenia.
Thanks for looking that
This article
up.
is
Yeah.
from December 19th to 2025, so just days
Oh,
after the
okay.
murder.
Yeah.
And just to add this little bit, sorry, this article is NBC News, and it says Nick Reiner was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and his medication was changed or adjusted at some point before the killings of his parents, according to 3 sources with direct knowledge of the case. Dang, this is another case
The
of medication.
Yeah. So I do think that could be a strategy that his defense uses.
Could use.
I mean, we're seeing that.
Well,
with
and schizophrenia is that's an insanity defense. Schizophrenia is a really tragic mental health disease.
It's
And like having a
awful.
schizophrenic break is a thing.
I know. And I saw that Rob worked with Nick on a movie called Being Charlie. They worked on a movie together in 2016. And he spoke about what it's like parenting someone with these mental health struggles. And he said, I had no experience as a father or what to do with your child who was struggling with these things. But you know your child better than experts know your child, which is just really sad because you can just see how much he was probably doing behind the scenes to help him. And
Yeah.
he was working with him on these movies and trying to give him opportunities. And this is what.
But then they have the most access to you as their
Yeah.
parent. And so the balance between like, how do I like keep myself safe and protect myself, but not like villainize my child because
Mhm.
they're struggling. They are a child that I love that is struggling with something that's really scary for them and for us.
Mhm.
Oh, this is just a really tragic, devastating
Super
case.
heartbreaking. Yeah.
Hmm.
I guess that's just another easy segue though to the Lindsay
The next
Clancy
one.
updates.
Okay, and that's
yeah,
the next one we're
speaking
talking
of
about.
mental health and medication.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, our third headline, the trial of Lindsay Clancy has entered its 3rd week in the Plymouth Superior Court in Massachusetts. And then again, just a refresher. So Lindsay is being accused of killing her 3 children, Cora, Dawson, and Callan. This week, the major developments were the prosecution heavily focusing on Lindsay's internet and phone searches before the killings, including searches relating to suicide methods, psychosis, hallucinations, medication, and even can you treat a sociopath 4 days before the deaths.
Yeah. Are you going to dive into those more?
Yes.
The airbags one?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to dive into the key moments from week 3. We have talked about the updates from week 2, week 1 in our previous episodes too. So I'm not giving a huge
This has
recap.
taken everyone by storm,
Yeah,
so that's why we keep.
You're living under a rock if you haven't
Yeah.
seen anything about this trial. So one of the first key moments that I wanted to talk about was Lindsay crying loudly and inconsolably during Wednesday's autopsy testimonies, prompting the judge to call multiple breaks.
Yeah. That was hard to watch.
Yeah, that was one thing we talked about before we started recording was depending on the way you're leaning in this trial, it was either very performative or it was something that was garnering compassion. And so actually something interesting, I made a note, I did not know this, that the jury is made up of 12 women and 6 men.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so I don't know. If you were leaning towards the prosecution, you're probably thinking like, oh, she was loudly crying to, maybe the behavior. And we've seen people do analysis of this on social media.
Yeah,
and
Dr.
stuff,
G
and
doing behavioral.
if you want to talk about that a little bit, I haven't seen Dr. G.
I don't know very much
Oh,
either,
okay.
but I just know that I've watched a couple of like TikTok reels of Dr. G doing body
analysis?
language.
Body
there we
language.
go. Body language analysis.
Okay.
And he says that it skews performative in his professional opinion.
Okay. See, that is something.
In my unprofessional opinion, it was very devastating listening to those sobs. And those sobs sound almost exactly like, it's almost like my body remembered feeling those sounds coming from my own body when I was like going through a panic attack one time when I was pregnant with my third child. And just the inability to breathe because you're so overcome with emotion, and then you start to hyperventilate, and then you start to get really nervous because you can't breathe, and then it's just this spiral. And so as soon as I heard that, I was like, I guess, yeah, it's like the body keeps the score concept. That book is fabulous if you haven't read it, but like the body remembers. And I just was like, I could relate, kind of like the sobs of a mother who's just so overcome with emotion, and we don't know what that emotion is. It could be guilt and remorse for what she thinks she's done or knows she's done, because those are different things. That's where a lot of people are torn. Like, does she just think she did this and she didn't actually, or does she know she did this?
Yeah.
Or is she devastated because she's not sure if she did this, but this is just so traumatizing to hear the details of what the child looked like from an autopsy technician.
One thing I do know is she's not required to even be in the room at this point also. So that is one thing
people are bringing up, I'm sure.
that I've seen people bring up, is that
Why
she
would
could leave the room. I mean, if she continues to have outbursts like that, it might be something that is like hindering the trial. So they might have her leave the room if they're talking about things that are upsetting her that much.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know. Again, yeah, it just kind of depends on which way you're leaning is how you're going to interpret that.
Yeah, we see lots of very strong opinions on the internet. It's kind of weird to me when we're all just lay people hanging out on the internet, like discussing the trial. And when people like come down and are like, how could you say that she did it? Of course she didn't. And like vice versa. How could you say that Patrick did it? Like, of course he didn't. I'm just like, you don't know.
I know.
We're all just listening. And like, how are you so certain of your opinion?
And it's so divided that I think there's enough to at least consider all these different angles.
Agreed. And when I've had conversations with friends just out in the wild about it over the past couple weeks, it is kind of bizarre to me when people that I know and love and respect have like a very strong opinions that they are correct. And I'm just like, how are there so many people out in the world that just listen to evidence and just think that they are the one that is correct? I don't know. It's kind of weird to me.
I mean,
I think as lay people, we can say our opinions and then should immediately be like, but you know what? The experts are doing what they can, and I'm going to wait for further information.
I know. I think that's how you find the most accurate information, though, is
keeping your mind open.
So many different lenses
to possibilities.
To all of the evidence, and then whatever holds up through every single lens is probably what's true.
Occam's razor.
Yeah.
Whatever the evidence points to the most obviously should be the conclusion that you are open-minded enough to accept. So that when whoever gets indicted, I mean, at the end of this trial, Patrick can't be indicted because he's not on trial or convicted. If she does not get convicted of this, I'm sure there's going to be a huge corner of the internet that's like, they're wrong, she did it. And I'm like, you don't know. You weren't there. You're not
I'm
investigating
open to
the evidence.
Anything, whatever is the truth, I would like to know.
Me too.
And whatever that truth is, like, I'm open to. I feel like we've had some people in our comments when we've posted some things. Also, that's a plug. If you want to follow us, we're
Pathological Pod.
Yeah, we're having some conversations on the internet.
Yeah. And I like it.
I know.
I don't mind when people disagree with me.
Yeah.
It's when they are so certain that they are correct that I'm like, hold on a second.
I know.
Take a humble pill and let's move on.
I know. I'm like, no one knows the truth. And it sounds like even from that night, it's like if Lindsay she doesn't even know the truth.
I know.
Potentially.
You know, I had a conversation with somebody about the crushed up pills put in lemonade.
Yeah.
But then I was like, she could have given that to her children. Although their drug panels. Yeah, because I was like, I said she's not going to crush up pills, put it in lemonade and drink it herself. She knows that lemonade can interact differently with medications and it's not necessarily going to be as potent, whatever. And then I was like, oh, maybe it was like, it could have been, no malice aforethought. And it was like very, what's the word? It was just like a reflex. Like she just did it right then. I'm trying to think of a word that I can't think of. Spontaneous. There we go. She just like spontaneously was like, okay, what can I give my kids to drug them? And so then she just searched for her things and crushed them up and put them in lemonade and gave it to her kids. That's where I argued with myself.
Interesting. I haven't thought about that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the crushed up pills is weird.
It is weird.
And putting it in lemonade doesn't seem like something a nurse would do.
Correct.
But if she wasn't firing all cylinders at that time, I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of things that nurses would not do, that's a good segue into the Google searches.
Yeah.
So
she would know where a carotid artery is.
Yeah. Some of the specific searches that she made were how to slit throat to die, where is carotid artery?
Yeah.
Where's the carotid artery? And then how to disable the airbags in a Kia Sorento.
Which is her car.
So
it could be her asking that so that she could take her own life and her children possibly. Or it could be Patrick trying to stage it.
Which a lot of people are of the mind that this was Patrick.
Yeah.
What's hard is I think a lot of the searches, like they're kind of logged in on different Gmail or Google accounts on the laptop, and they're kind of like, that's kind of
it's
where
almost,
people are getting confused of like, oh, was this Patrick or was this Lindsay searching up these things? And they did already prove in one case that he was the one that looked up the suicide of that country singer.
Tom Hall?
Yeah.
Am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay. Do you know how they proved it?
He said that he was searching up Tom Hall, and then they showed that the Wikipedia page had the hyperlink to the way he committed suicide.
Yes. Okay, I remember that. But then wasn't it just minutes later that Lindsay's Facebook account was logged into?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where things are getting confusing.
Was it on the family tablet?
I think it was on the Surface Pro.
Which he uses for work.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
but
like
I think
his device.
They have it in the home. So I don't know. That's where things are getting confusing.
And
that's why
works
people
in the
who
basement.
are like, no, it was Lindsay. I'm like, but how do you know?
I know.
How do you know? You weren't there.
Yeah.
One thing about some of these searches, this was actually like a good moment for the defense this week, was her search of hallucinations. Because that's kind of an indication that she was starting to hallucinate maybe prior to just the moment where she snapped.
Do we know for sure that it was her that looked up the hallucinations? Or was it at the same time as some of these other searches?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But, I mean, if that is the case, that's early sign of psychosis. That kind of proves that she was starting to devolve into maybe a
either
psychotic
that
state.
Or, again, devil's advocate, seeing it
whichever
from all the sides.
lens.
Patrick could have looked that up so that he could help mimic a hallucination.
Or if she was premeditating this, what could I say?
Yeah,
that was
an insanity defense.
Yeah, so
okay. Yeah.
That depends on the lens.
You're right.
That you're
it's almost like
this.
There's three options.
Yeah.
She did this and was like fully cognizant. Mental acuity was fine. She did this and she has an insanity defense that is legitimate. And she was in a psychosis. And then the third option is like Patrick did this and framed her.
Yeah.
Those are like the three options, really. Okay.
Yeah. Some of the other things that were one of the other key moments from the trial this week, they read some of Lindsay's notes app excerpts.
Okay, yeah.
And they were really sad.
Honestly, because they were so relatable.
Yes.
I could have written half of those. And I have written similar notes in my notes app.
I know. Yeah, it's just a good way to vent. And she was doing that.
And it's actually a healthy form of catharsis.
I know. It actually makes me feel bad that people are being so critical of these specific notes because
they're so personal.
They're so personal, and
I've written things in my notes to help me process really strong emotions of like, I lost a job once upon a time, and it was like a huge betrayal that whatever.
Yeah.
And I wrote some pretty horrible things about those people in my notes, but that's how I like. Have you Brene Brown calls it, and like, pardon my French, but like your quote unquote shitty first draft is she's like, write it all down, get all the emotions out, and then never send it to the person.
Yeah,
Like,
people are
write an
burn the
email.
letter.
Yes, it's not meant to be seen by anyone else.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of these notes kind of sounded to me. I was like, geez,
Yeah.
this feels so like a breach of her privacy, but so much of this is. Oh my gosh, I wanted to mention this. The video footage of them at a museum a few days before the incident
Yeah.
is such a weird piece of evidence to me, because I'm like,
I didn't
what if they were just
understand.
beefing that day? Like, I think, okay, Jordan and I were in Costco with our kids the other day, and I had already seen this clip, and I was like, we were kind of beefing about something, just like very like surface level marital spat, you know? Wait, is that what you call it?
I
A
think
marital
so.
spat. Why
Yeah,
did that sound so weird to me? Because spat also is like spit in past tense. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Okay, my brain just broke for a second. Okay, so we were like in just a little tiny tiff, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, if you took the clip of us entering Costco with our 3 kids, you would have been like, oh, their marriage is
Honestly-
over, or like, you know? And I was like, no, it wasn't. We're just a married couple that has been married for a decade that was
And-
having a moment.
Any outing with children is just elevating your stress.
Truly. And so if he was just stepping away, because he was completely checked out for a little bit, and I'm like, I've done that on outings, taking a breather from my significant other or my children so that I don't like get upset or whatever, or I'm just
Yeah.
stressed out.
I know. I thought that
felt
was
like that
weird
was-
too.
I felt like that was like throwaway evidence. Like, this proves absolutely nothing.
Yeah. No,
I see a
seriously.
family, he looks cold and checked out, but that doesn't prove anything
Also,
to me.
I think the prosecution
brought it.
that to evidence. I'm like, what were you trying to
What-
prove?
I
with
know,
that?
I know.
That made him
If
look worse.
anything, this makes your guy look, well, it's not their guy. But
I know.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are we
this
trying to
doesn't
prove
make
here?
Lindsay look.
It makes her look like a really
guilty.
great mom that's
Yeah,
super involved
She's
with
the
her
one
kids.
pushing the massive stroller
Yeah,
and
I
has
don't
the baby
know.
attached to her, and she's trying to get like, yeah, I thought that was so weird too.
I don't understand why they did
And
that.
then there were lots of comments about people being like, this speaks volumes to me. And I'm like, why?
I don't know.
I never
agree
want
with
you to watch videos of my family. A lot of times we'll be out in public and I think we look like the most picturesque, incredible family. And like, that's not a fair litmus test either.
I know. Yeah, I am so confused by that.
Me too.
But I'm just gonna read the excerpt that I think has gone really viral this week. That
Yeah. Okay.
is sad. She says, "I feel not as connected with Cal now. I think I sort of resent my other children because they prevent me from treating Cal like my first baby, and I know that's not fair to them."
That is so relatable. That is the
Yeah.
number one thing I think. Yeah.
I think every mom goes through this as they have more children.
Yeah. You've expressed this because yours came at the same time and you have
Yeah,
two.
I was just about to say, yeah, I had twins and that's my first experience as a mom. And I have friends who just had babies around the same time as me who've had one baby at a time. And I just feel like they have a lot more one-on-one time with their babies. And there's like a really special experience of having your first kid that I feel like I didn't get.
Yeah.
And it's no one's fault, but
Mhm.
it's something
It
that
just
I've
is.
felt before where I'm like, oh, I just wish that I could be able to experience having this first child. Like, I don't have that. But
yeah, you got thrust right into what for me was the hardest transition in parenting. Going from 1 to 2
yeah.
was so hard for me because mine are 22 months apart, those first two.
Mhm.
And it felt like I had 2 babies, and it just like sent me into like anxious spirals all the
Yeah.
time. And so you got thrown into something really, really hard. Anyways, yeah, I
Yeah.
just also, by the way, a lot of times when you say mom, you sound like a Minnesotaite
Oh,
mom.
see,
I don't know.
I have my like valley accent, and then
Yeah, you're kind of hard to pin down.
I'm not sure where.
Where are you from?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I have
anyways.
noticed that listening. Now that we've started, I'm recording myself all the time
It's like-
speaking. I'm like, why do I say it like that?
I
don't
know.
know.
I say words weird ways too.
I don't know.
Oh, so many W's in a sentence. Wow. Anyways, I threw us off track. But yes,
Yeah.
listening to that
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know, it's really heartbreaking. There's also, she was writing like affirmations in her phone. She said, I will get through this. I will overcome postpartum anxiety and depression. Oh, this is making me sad.
Me too.
I'm a great mom. I love my kids.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can relate to that too. You're pulled in so many different directions as a mother to really little humans because they're so adorable and so beautiful, and then they need so much from you physically to
Mm-hmm.
open everything, to fill up every water bottle, to wipe every snotty nose, and it's just so much all day long for like literally 12 hours. And then emotionally, they have such like explosive emotions that are really hard to help them come down from. And you're like, you feel so much rage for such a little body. How is this even possible?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So emotionally, like mentally, it takes so much to think of the whole checklist of things you need everywhere you go with a young child.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It strains
mental
your
burden.
mental, emotional, physical abilities all day long for 12 hours
Yeah.
every day for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most exhausting thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Be a mother to young children.
Yeah.
So,
It's a huge lifestyle change.
yeah.
Um,
It's way harder than it has been going to work for me. There's been many jobs that I've had where I'm like, this is so relaxing compared to what I was dealing with my kids.
actually,
It's stressful in different ways for sure. The
Yeah.
financial stress of like running a department at my last company, like that's a lot of stress, but it's different. It's no harder or more stressful, honestly, than being with young children for 12 hours a day.
there were also a lot of Lindsay's medical providers that testified this week.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the providers were very clear that there was no plan for suicide.
So she was definitely having suicidal ideation because that just means having the idea
Yes.
of taking your own life, of ending it all, which is like a quote from her.
Yes. So
Versus suicidal intent, which is actually making literal logistical plans. Like at this time, on this date, I'm going to use this thing
yeah.
to do it.
So
Okay.
that is one thing. All the medical providers that testified this week were very clear that she had said that she had not
No intent.
planned out. There was no suicidal intent.
Simply suicidal ideation.
Yes.
Which maybe that's like a trite way of saying that. Not simply, but
Yeah.
only
Only
the
yeah.
ideation. Okay.
Yes. And another thing that they testified, a couple of I think it was the nurse practitioner. I should have figured out how to say her name.
Gelada, yeah.
Gelada.
Jollota.
I feel like
Gelada.
I was reading that wrong because that's how you say the like gelada at like Italian.
Zeppies? Oh,
Zeppies.
Gelato.
They call it gelada though.
They do?
I think
At
so.
Zeppies?
I think I order
Plug
a
for
gelada.
You guys go all the time. I still
love
haven't been.
Zeppies.
Jordan was like
Shout out to Zeppies.
rage baiting me by showing me how
need to
incredible
go.
it was. And I was like, oh, why did you go? That was so savage. You all went without
Oh,
me.
I know.
I was actually like, what? I'm just the sucker at home with the kids while they're asleep.
Sorry,
well,
Julie.
It's fine.
Okay, we'll go this week
You
to
owe me.
Zeppies.
'Kay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gelada?
Gelada.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Spelled differently, but
in her testimony, she said that the Ativan that they prescribed to Lindsay had helped subside her intrusive thoughts.
okay.
And that was something echoed through all of the medical provider testimonies,
Mhm.
that she was having these intrusive thoughts, suicidal ideation, but the Ativan was subduing these thoughts.
Okay, so it was helping.
Yeah, she was being medicated to their knowledge as much as she needed to be.
Then what's the quote that I see circulating? And maybe you won't know this, sorry. But there's a quote I see circulating this week about Lindsay saying medication ruined
Yes.
me, like ruined my life or something.
She says, hang on, I have it.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen that circulate a lot, and then I
It
want
was
to get very
notes app journal entry.
Okay. And do you know the date? That would be helpful because if the incident occurred on January, what was it, 24th?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just curious.
She says medication stole my motherhood and my life.
Yeah.
Prescription medication stole me from my own body.
Okay.
That note was created in December 2022
Okay.
and last modified on January 23rd.
Oh, the day before the
Yeah.
incident occurred.
The day before she strangled her 3 young children.
I don't even know what to make of that. Because, yes, they were overprescribing her. There's something missing. There's something we haven't heard yet. I know that they're still proceeding through the trial, so of course, there's more information to come. But if she felt like she was being over-medicated and they're all prescribing all these medications, why did she take everything that she was being prescribed? She's smart enough to not do that.
I don't know.
And then Patrick, too, is, even if we don't assume any fault of his to do with like the actual strangulation of the children and the suicide attempts, like if Patrick is actually innocent of all of that, he's still complicit in my mind in the whole scenario because like I feel like he should have pushed harder
Yeah.
to get her help and to be like a voice of reason. Like that many medications is just how did this happen? Like
I
there
don't know.
That's so insane that there were 11 different medications swirling around in those 4 months.
I think
We're missing
over the
something.
4 months extended out was what, like 13 or 14?
You're right. I
Yeah.
said that wrong. 13 medications over 4 months.
Yeah.
What are we missing? That's where it's like, if it's
So-
not making sense, it's because we're missing some vital information.
I know. It either seems like she wasn't being candid with her
Providers.
doctors or Patrick. I don't know.
Yeah, was she lying?
Yeah, I don't know. Or, I mean, no one really knows if she was really following the medical regimen
Mm-hmm.
that they were providing to her. I said it like that because I mispronounced that one.
We call it you
The
kept calling it a
regime.
medication regime.
Yeah,
Marching
we were
down
I was really in like,
Hitler.
yeah,
Yeah, we were talking so
1930s Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah, her medical regimen. We don't know that she was following everything like to a T.
Yeah, maybe that's what is
I
feeling
don't
off
know.
here.
It's hard because,
Hmm.
yeah, this is what's very confusing to me. So we see they read aloud her My Chart messages. I'll read a few of them. She says, I woke up at 12:15 and had intrusive thoughts of wanting it all to be over. This is when they were pressing Gelada about the Ativan.
Okay.
And she was testifying that Lindsay was saying that the Ativan was helping. But then Lindsay says, I really need to explore the option that I'm addicted to Ativan. I feel addicted to it, and I feel like I'm not being heard that is a possibility. There are so many notes that she was just constantly thinking about. It seems very like, what is the word? Not obsessive, but just very
She's ruminating
on her mental health.
like thinking about it all day long.
Yeah, she was sending so many messages in her My Chart. I've never sent a message to my doctors in My Chart, and maybe that's like me not being like.
We didn't use My Chart. I used to have Kaiser, and I actually really liked it. It was usually the NP, the nurse practitioner,
Yeah.
that would respond. It wasn't the doctor themselves, but someone like a member of their team would respond. It was good.
I just feel like the frequency that we see these My Chart messages, and then
There were calls for help because it was so
But-
frequent.
yeah, it seems like she was begging for help, and from these messages, like willing to do whatever was necessary to get better. But then we have all these medical professionals that are testifying, oh, we didn't see any of the signs of psychosis, and from our knowledge, she didn't have any suicidal intent, and
Mm.
we felt like, based on our conversations with Lindsay, that we were medicating her properly. So that's where I'm confused.
You're right. There's almost like this. I'm not trying to throw another diagnosis at her, but like there's this compulsivity to
Yes,
it, like
that's the word I was
obsessive
thinking of.
compulsive, like
That's the word.
which is OCD. But I don't necessarily mean she had OCD, but there's this obsession about like, oh, I'm addicted to the Ativan. It's been helping me, and I can just like kind of hear the swarm of thoughts running through her mind at all times. That's probably contributing to the insomnia.
Mm-hmm. And we know she was pretty like worried about her daughter's health and like
Yeah.
constantly
Yeah,
kind
like
of
very
bringing-
anxious about
like has like health anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what she needed? She needed she needed a sister or a friend or a husband, someone who like let her cry and talk about all of this. It almost feels like no one was letting her talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I don't want to
know.
put the
We
blame
don't
on
know
them.
that for sure, but it does seem like she's just
I'm
searching.
trying to think about when I've gotten that like unhealthy rumination going on. The way to stop it has always been to like go out to Zeppies, which I've never actually been to, but like go get like froyo with my sister and just cry and talk for 4 hours, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it requires a really helpful spouse that will say, I'm going to put the kids to bed tonight by myself, you go. And it just doesn't feel like Patrick was that spouse that said, let me shoulder the burden of the children tonight and you go take 4 or 5 hours to yourself. In fact, you don't need to come home at a certain time. Just come home when you're ready to come home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't seem like that was happening. But that's my outside observations.
I know. It's really hard not to
criticize
we're
him.
going to get into Patrick at the end.
Yeah. Okay. Because there's some vacation details.
Yes.
Do you have any of that written down?
I
not,
don't
I
have
look
it
up.
specifically written down the end. I just have Patrick tinfoil hat moments of the week, question mark. I was going to ask if there was anything that stuck out to you from this week. Because he didn't
Tinfoil
testify
moments
this.
of the week. What is that? We're going to do our
We need to come up with a better acronym.
I know.
Or better
Tinfoil
phrase.
moments. TFM.
I don't know. We
Whatever.
need to think of something
Tinfoil
better for
hat.
that.
It's also not just tinfoil. It's tinfoil hat. TFHAM.
We should call it tinfoil path or something because we're
everything's path.
Yeah, I don't know.
We're trying to make that work so hard, and maybe it is.
Maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not.
We'll figure it out.
We will.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
One thing I also wanted to bring up was, did you see when Dr. Jennifer Tufts, she was kind of getting into an argument with Kevin?
They were beefing.
With Kevin Reddington. Yeah. She was getting very visibly frustrated.
She was being sassy too.
Yes.
Which I don't blame her.
I know.
She could lose her medical license if something bad, she has a lot on the line.
Yes.
So I was like, I actually don't blame her. She is being a sassy pants, but
yes,
she's got a lot to lose.
And I could understand. So they presented some evidence of what Dr. Tufts had charted.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Reddington was reading it just very
I do like Kevin Reddington, but I think he was wrong in that moment.
I think so too.
Because she was like, I know what I meant when I wrote this note.
It was just
do you have the exact wording?
She says.
Yeah. And that moment, I was like, oh, dang, I haven't really been on Jennifer Tufts' side in a lot of the cross-examination that's happened. I feel like I've been on Kevin Reddington's side. But in this moment, he was like a dog with a bone on just a couple of words. And I was like, come on, Reddington, just let it go. Because I think she's got you on this one.
I know.
Just take the L and move on.
Yeah, it's where she says, if you've seen the clip, I don't care what it says. I know what I meant.
Yes, I've seen that clip a bunch of times.
He was basically trying to catch her just on some grammatical or punctuation technicality.
Which honestly, and again, if you can find the exact one, because I feel like we're being too vague, but even if he's correct, it doesn't hold any weight. I felt like that when I was watching these clips. I was like, why is he obsessing over this one tiny line? It doesn't make a big difference.
So I guess he's just trying to say if she wrote not hyper and then comma pressured speech, saying she did have pressured speech would be a sign of mania.
Okay.
So
what does
that's
that
where
even mean?
I don't
Pressured
know.
speech? I'm going to look that up. Is that a medical term?
I guess so.
A rapid, urgent, and continuous pattern of speaking that is difficult or impossible to interrupt.
And what's really hard about this is my sisters are nurses, and that is something they've said is drilled into them in nursing school. And I think all medical professionals get this in
you're
school.
Going to be in court one day.
Yes, yeah. If you didn't document
every word
it,
will get picked apart.
It didn't happen.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is somewhat someone's worst nightmare of having their charting read aloud in court if you're not so specific.
I bet you this clip will be used in medical school and nursing school. This is why we drill this into you.
I know. It seems like something that you would really be careful with, though, in psychiatry, because it's like documented like it's going to be in court, like in as a psychiatric doctor, that's probably something that would be more likely to happen to you than in maybe other fields.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
even so, if we break this apart grammatically, I still don't. Am I the dum dum here? I still don't understand what the difference is between not hyper, comma, pressured speech, period, as opposed to not hyper, comma, not pressured speech, period.
like maybe
To
the
me, that
not.
would mean the same thing.
I
It would
know,
mean it is
yeah.
neither hyper nor pressured. Does that make sense?
But
Not
is he
hyper
saying
pressured speech.
the hyper is related to the speech? Like not, she's not hyperactive. She's not acting hyper. And then the comma pressured speech. Why am I having a hard time saying that?
That's
Pressured
okay.
speech
Pressure speech. That's okay.
is like a different symptom, like
Yeah.
all together. So then it's
And
she's not hyperactive, like acting jittery,
and then her
but
speech
her
is not pressured.
speech could be pressured if he wrote. I don't know.
Honestly, I was like, Reddington, why are we harping on this? Like,
I know. I
move
did feel
on.
bad for her. I did feel bad for her.
Me
That
too.
was-
I thought that was unreasonable.
Yeah.
And then everybody in the comments being like, she should know better. I'm like, have
She's
you
gonna
never
lose
made a
her
mistake in your
license. I know.
I know. Have you never made a mistake at your job? This is
I
where
don't
jobs
know.
are. I have had jobs where you have to be very particular. Oh my gosh, when I worked as a personal assistant to the high net worth couple in Manhattan, I had to get everything absolutely right. And it was paramount that I did not get street addresses wrong or phone numbers wrong, or it would come down on me really, really hard. I double, triple checked everything so that I wouldn't make any mistakes because I was not allowed to make mistakes. And in her job, you kind of aren't allowed to make mistakes.
I know. I know.
Huh.
I do feel bad for her, but that is something that is so, like, it's repeated in school a bunch of times.
Okay, but even so, yes, totally agree. And now back to the sentence in question. Why is it such a big deal?
I don't know. I don't know.
So, anyways.
I think overall he's just trying to make her look less credible as a doctor.
Yeah, you're right. Because that is how he will win this case, by making the jury a hung jury that cannot decide, that cannot convict Lindsay without reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
What's the phrase again? Beyond reasonable
doubt.
Okay,
Yeah,
because they have to be able to convict her
Yes.
on the evidence without, or beyond reasonable doubt. Reasonable doubt.
Yes.
So you're right. It's his job to just make her look like she's not a credible witness.
Yeah. Another moment where he was kind of using this strategy, I think, to kind of discredit the medical professionals. There was the NP, Letitia Dukes, and she, in her testimony, mentioned that when she started meeting with Lindsay in December, she met with her December 2nd through the 19th of 2022. So 5 weeks or so before she allegedly killed the kids. She approached Lindsay's case with fresh eyes, she said. So not saying that she didn't necessarily look at her medical history, but I think the way that she approached Lindsay as a patient was like, I'm just going to talk to her and kind of like not reference any of the...
Just raw dog it?
Yeah, any of the...
Not advisable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Any of the other medical information. I don't know. I don't want to say she didn't necessarily look at her previous medical... Like, I just don't understand why she would take a patient like Lindsay and be like, oh, I'm not going to talk to any of her family members or the other doctors who have worked with her, or I don't understand that. That's kind of an example, again, of where Kevin Reddington is trying to make these doctors and nurses look incompetent.
Okay. Yeah, because then she wasn't getting the help that she needed, and then she was more likely to have just spiraled down into this psychosis because she didn't get the help she needed. And then this defense can be psychosis.
Yeah, so that was another big moment, a big maybe win for the defense. I mean, I don't know necessarily how that was interpreted by the jury, but at least on social media, that was a big win for the defense.
Yeah. Do you think the
Um,
jury members have to sign something to stay off of social media during this period of time?
I feel like
Or are
they
they just
should. I
strongly
have no
advised? I
idea.
wonder how the legality of it, if they have to like legally sign that they won't. Because they could be easily swayed by things they're seeing online.
I have no idea.
Also, do you have any notes about the bipolar of it all?
Um, right, the bipolar. That
Whether or not Lindsay was ever diagnosed with it. I've heard different
Yeah,
things.
one of the doctors did mention that that was something that was an option of like maybe they should dive deeper into that, but Patrick did not think that Lindsay was bipolar.
Yes, there's a quote of him saying, like, my wife, she doesn't have bipolar or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah, that wasn't something they investigated further because it was kind of just nipped in the bud
Yeah,
by.
or schizophrenia. Did they look into that?
I don't think so.
Okay, because this almost, if she did it, in my mind, I wonder, okay, are there parallels between Nick Reiner, who killed his parents after like a schizophrenic break,
Uh-huh.
and she's a little older than that typically happens,
Yeah, because that's around the age when schizophrenia presents, right?
like 20s, late 20s, I want to say.
Okay.
And we should fact check that too. Okay, Lindsay Clancy was 32 years old on the date of
Oh,
the incident.
okay.
Schizophrenia typically presents in late adolescence or early adulthood, most commonly between late teens and early 30s. So she was 32 at the time of the
Okay.
incident. Yeah,
Could
that's
be.
something that crossed my mind.
Yeah, I wonder if that would be information we would be privy to at this point, though.
Yeah.
Another moment from week 3 is they had Police Sergeant Daniel Lawler, who testified that investigators briefly discussed a theory that the defense hired psychologist, Dr. Paul Zeisel, might have coached Lindsay to report hearing voices. Though
Oh.
Lawler confirmed that they never pursued or found concrete evidence to support this.
Yeah, okay. That the first time she had the idea of hearing voices was in the hospital,
Yeah.
and that the doctor coached her to say that.
Yeah, that was something that I saw this week too, is they were going back and forth about whether or not that was something they could prove. I wonder if they brought that up though because there's more to that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing that I was gonna talk about was this text thread
Oh yeah,
that
the
they
day of the murder.
yeah that they read
Murders.
in court. Very normal conversation that this does not paint the picture of a woman that's about to take the lives of her children. So I'll just read through it really quick. And then I just have it labeled as P and L for Patrick and Lindsay. So
Okay.
P, how's it going? L, good. L, oh, and she's at the doctor's office, I think, or just went to an appointment.
With Cora.
With Cora as context. L, okay. Her urine looked good, so nothing going wrong with her kidneys. Phew. P, good. Smiley face. L, no message content. I'm assuming that's just like a picture that she sent.
Oh yeah. Okay.
P, oh wow, you're a good mama.
Oh, it was the snowman picture. Do you remember?
Oh
It's
yes,
her
the snowman
and
picture.
or no, it's just Cora and Dawson in front of next to a snowman.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going.
Okay.
But that snowman picture, I have something to say.
Okay. Hopefully this isn't too hard to follow.
No. It's fine.
L, smiley face with heart emoji. L, another picture. P, laughed at an image. L, any chance you want to take out from 3V? I didn't cook anything. ... It's been a long day. Smiley face. I think I've sent that exact text before.
Oh my gosh, the amount of times. Do you play like chicken with your spouse where it's like who's gonna ask for takeout first?
No, every single day.
Me too.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Especially with little kids.
I
I'm just
know.
like, oh,
I know.
we've got to eat again?
It's the
you kidding me?
worst.
3 meals?
And it's like the point of the day where everyone's just over it and
the
throwing
kids are just
tantrums and
like clawing at your leg, like, pick me up, pick me up.
yeah.
That's what mine says all the time. I'm just like, I can't pick up another human being or I'm going to die. Yeah. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, popcorn is for dinner.
Just eat whatever you can find.
Okay, sorry.
Anyways, P, yeah, smiley face. L, okie dokie, smiley face. And that was at 4:53 p.m. And then we know that Patrick left the house at 5:15 to run these errands. Oh, they also discussed later, communicated later in these texts about him picking up the Pedialyte from CVS.
They texted?
Yes.
It wasn't just a phone call?
There was.
There's
I
also a
did
phone
see.
call.
Oh, I don't know, actually. I did see texts, though, where they, I
Oh.
think of them continuing that conversation of like what he would want.
Okay, so
maybe.
all those texts that you just read didn't happen all at the same time, right? Because the Cora doctor's appointment was in the morning, and then the snowman was in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, I think that that's just the last day of their text messages.
Of their texts.
Yeah.
Okay. Because then were they texting from inside the house? They were texting each other. He was down in his basement office, and she was asking if he would go pick up 3V, I think.
3V, yeah.
3V takeout.
Yes.
There were some people that were like, you text each other from inside your own house. And I was like, yeah,
I
who
do that all the
doesn't? I
time.
know. It's like having an intercom system, but
I
it's
know.
like on our phones already.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think that was weird.
I didn't either. Okay, the snowman photo. There's somebody on TikTok, and I can't remember who exactly, but I'm loving that I'm on TikTok now. It's like the world of internet sleuths are all on TikTok.
Yeah.
Anyways, or maybe that's just my algorithm, my For You page,
Yeah.
like feeding me everything that I want to hear. But there's this woman that zoomed in on a crime scene photo from the night in question. So it was January 24th, 2023. Sorry, January 24th, 2023. She zooms in on the snowman, and it's much more melted than the picture that Lindsay sends, allegedly on that last day of them.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, so it's slightly more melted, and the hat and the scarf are gone. And so she's like, it couldn't have been sent on the same day. And I had lots of differing thoughts all at the same time. I was like, maybe they wanted to take the hat and the scarf back inside. Like they just posed
Yeah.
the cute snowman for the photo, and then they took the things off. And then snow can melt over the course of the day. But if it was in the afternoon, it was quite a bit more melted than the snowman in the photo.
Yeah, I did see that.
And so that was a little sus to me. I was like, oh, maybe this is a photo from a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
Either this is sus because she's sending it as some, I don't know why that doesn't make sense, why she would send that to make herself look like she was going into psychosis. No, that wouldn't help her case. But then
I don't know.
so then to me, it's like, did Patrick send it from her Apple Watch to make it seem like she was just A-okay? I don't know. Never mind. Maybe this does not make sense.
This is where we can get into all of our
Tinfoil hat.
Patrick questions.
Okay. I've already taken it there many times. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's great. We can get into that conversation now. Okay, so the first thing that we can't really confirm or deny, just based on our 1-minute research that we just did, there were screenshots being posted of the results of a half marathon in a Bermuda half marathon that happened allegedly 28 days after the incident.
Yeah, after the children were killed.
In Bermuda, so Patrick ran this race as well as his new wife.
But at the time, she was not his new wife.
Right.
Rachel Dennis is her name.
I do think there is some evidence that he was cheating on Lindsay.
Mm-hmm.
Just also based on...
This is tinfoil hat moment, right?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Because we don't know that for sure.
Yeah, no, this is where we're jumping off the rails.
Okay. Yeah, the theory is that he was already seeing Rachel Dennis before Lindsay attempted to take her life and allegedly killed the kids. Mm-hmm. Which that's not on trial.
Yeah,
so
it's
we're
not
not going to have like phone records. But there would be ways to prove that.
Yeah.
Are there phone records between Rachel Dennis and Patrick Clancy from before, you know? Again, he's not on trial, so the vacation information is hard to verify because there aren't going to be sources that were presented in trial because he is not on trial for the murder.
I know, yeah. I mean, anything can be faked and posted. And
that's true.
We don't know this for sure, but there's that I've seen circulating this week.
Yeah.
And then also there was at one point in the trial when Patrick was testifying where the prosecutor is asking him, do you remember either taking or signing up Lindsay for a massage and then a dinner?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, no, we stayed home. I didn't do that with Lindsay. And people are kind of interpreting that like, oh, he's kind of maybe he did go out that night, but he might have gone with Rachel.
Somebody else. Yeah, Rachel.
I saw someone I zoom in on the prosecutor, and this could totally be from a different moment in trial, and they're
Splicing it together
splicing
to
it
make
together.
it look
I
that
don't
way.
know. But she's walking back, and you can see the printed image of Patrick and a woman that looks a lot like Lindsay, but if you zoom in, actually kind of looks like
Rachel.
And when she was having this, like asking him these questions, like she's trying to prove, like, oh, he took her out for their anniversary, and maybe that wasn't even Lindsay. I don't know.
Yeah, because they do look a lot alike.
They do look a lot alike. I don't know. So there was that I saw circulating on the internet for.
But you're right.
I don't know.
The internet is a wild place where people can do anything.
I know. Yeah. So all of this is take it with a grain of salt. But I think that it does seem like he was pretty checked out and unhelpful.
At a bare minimum, that's what I think.
Yeah.
And my gut is I don't really like him. So I'm trying to not let that cloud the facts for me.
Mm-hmm.
But just how he like stares under his brow bones. Like his eyes are like right up against his brow bone. And he looks like he's trying to stare a hole into Kevin Reddington's soul or something. You know, he just looks really dead in the eyes, and I don't know. But then I'm just doing what everyone else on the internet is doing, which it's like, I just have an icky feeling about him. It's him. And I'm like, nah.
I know.
That's not how we prove people are innocent or guilty.
I know.
But it doesn't help. It doesn't help that he's very unlikable.
I know. I am with you.
But there's this quote from this movie. It's called Hoodwinked. And so many people have not seen it. I feel like it was kind of like a cult following, like niche
like the animated movie?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's so freaking good. It's from a long time ago. But there's this part where I can't remember who's saying it, but they're like, we don't just arrest people for being creepy, okay? And I think that about Patrick all the time. I'm like, yeah, he's creepy, but we can't just like convict him because he looks like he's dead in the eyes and he like stares holes into people.
Yeah.
Anyways, so it's like, we can't just arrest people for being creepy. And then the pig cop, like, he like talks to his, like radios over to his guys at the police station. He's like, hey, remember that guy we arrested last night? And he's like, the guy's like, oh yeah, the creepy one? He's like, yeah, we're going to have to let him go. Anyways, I was just like, yeah, that is what I've been thinking about a lot during this
I know.
case. We can't just convict him because he looks like a horrible, emotionless creep with no affect.
Yeah. Okay, so those are all the theories that we've seen about Patrick circulating on social media this week. And
follow us.
Yeah.
Because honestly, we've had some really cool discourse on
Yes.
our TikTok and Instagram. They're just starting to grow. They're little fledgling accounts. But
yeah, please
thank you so
follow
much
us.
for everyone that has followed and engaged. So a quick plug. We are at Pathological Pod.
Yes.
And that's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
Mhm.
We're on Spotify. Yes.
Yes.
And we are getting our act together, and we're going to be the audio-only versions on all the other platforms that you know of, like Apple Podcasts, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
We're not there yet. We're mostly stay-at-home moms
We're
that are
new.
trying to, we're new. So thank you so much for being here.
And again, our next episode on Friday is going to be about Charles Manson. So if you want to do your homework, you should watch the Netflix Conversations with a Killer. So,
Okay.
we'll see you Friday.
Bye.